I feel like I stood here this time last year and said congratulations on your win in the Godolphin Mile, and you went and did it again.
Yeah, he's a nice horse second summer. I think we were talking earlier, I think the track might have helped him a little bit for that trip especially, and they went crazy in front, so he was able to close. He's a real nice horse. He's got a lot of class about him, and in the third leg of the Mocktoon Challenge, we really thought he'd win that night, and he ran poorly and came out of the race with a little wrenched ankle. So, you know, he was fine in a couple days, but you know, we couldn't get to the World Cup, and the mile was our chance to run on World Cup night, and he proved that was the place to go anyway, probably last year with Arrogate running.
Do you feel that the World Cup trip is more his distance? Yeah,
I think so. You know, I think he stays all day, and even when he got beat in the first leg or the second leg of the Mocktoon Challenge, he was flying at the end, and I think the mile and a quarter he could probably sit a little closer and close a little better.
So very much you'll look at the World Cup and work back from there?
Yeah. I mean, I think there's the, you know, probably discuss it with the owner and his representatives, but you know, the listed race possibly at the middle of December at Maidan over 10 furlongs, and see how he gets on there. He's going to have to be conceding a little weight with his group win, but we'll see how he goes and go from there.
And his owner has reinvested with you?
He did. We bought a couple 2-year-olds, and they're looking good at the moment, and we went down to the April sale in Ocala and got a couple from the Breeze Up sale, a nice filly and a pretty nice colt too. So they'll be out shortly in early part of the season, hopefully, and hopefully they do well. And then we bought one, a 3-year-old from California that's looks a nice type, sprinter miler, and he's just in quarantine now and should be out in a couple days and get going with him.
And that's Kim Bear?
Kim Bear, sorry, yes.
Yeah. Okay, who's got the Group 2 placing, I think?
Yeah, he was behind American Anthem, who had a really nice summer in America, trained by Bob Baffert, and it's tough to buy over there. The prices are extraordinary, and I think we got a nice deal with him, and hopefully he can come over here and compete. He'll probably run in handicaps the first part of the carnival, and then hopefully move himself up.
Away from second summer, you also got the Godolphin Mile winner from the previous year, One Man Band. He missed last season.
Yeah, he did. Good right now. He's through 5 or 6 pieces of work. We're looking just to get him started because he always needs to run, and maybe just run him at Jebel Ali on the 17th and get him started, and then work forward from there, see how he comes out. But he had a bit of a tendon injury that looks good at the moment, but you never know with those. So, you know, he's done us proud, and we're never going to push him too hard. But if he stays like he is now, we're in good shape.
And of course, behind One Man Band was Faulkner, another one who's had a bit of time off. How's he doing?
Good, really well actually, and we'll probably run him on the 23rd, get him started. He usually needs a run too. He didn't the first year we had him because it was a maiden, but now that he's up to 110 or so, he'll need the run. But he's in good shape, and we're really looking forward to him this year. He's hopefully this is a full season for us with him. He's been a great servant. He's had his problems, obviously. I don't think he started till he was a 5-year-old, but he's a good horse, and I don't think you've seen the best of him if we can keep him in good shape.
What sort of trip do you think is his best?
We're going to start him over a mile. I think we think a mile and a quarter. So, you know, he hasn't. I think he went over 1900, given a lot of weight to Tis Now, Tis Then. I think a few years or a couple of years back, but we think that's his best trip. But we'll start him over a mile. Like I said, he always needs a run. He's probably off the track 600 days by the time we start him. So that's about the place to start.
One who was a bit of a revelation last year in the sprinting division was My Catch, and then it all went a little bit wrong towards the end of the season.
Yeah, he had an injury right there in the middle of the season. He won the listed race in December, and then we had a setback with him, and it wasn't anything serious, but it kept us from training for a little bit, and he's a tough horse to train anyway. Martin Pearson does a great job on him, just to get him around here every day in one piece, and he came back on World Cup night, and he ran credibly for the time he had off, and you know, the preparation that he had for the race, and we're just hoping to have a clean season with him because he's a pretty nice horse.
And he's one who could really be a genuine Shaheen horse, perhaps?
I hope so, yeah. I mean, you know, he beat Muarab last year the first time. I know he was getting a little weight from him, but we were really looking forward to him after that, and he's just matured a little bit, and he settles a little more in front, and he's got tons of speed. So we'll see how it goes for the season, but we're looking forward to him.
You've tried to boost your 2-year-old division quite a lot. What else have you got among those ranks?
We have a few this year. we got a few from the 2-year-old in training sale. We have a horse called Skyrider by Sky Mesa. He's owned in partnership with EERC and Frankie O'Connor, who owned Cosmo Charlie last year. And then Frankie brought 3 over for us. He brought Jockey Joe, a colt, Eloquent, a filly, and then a half brother to Complimente, who we had last year by Tisnow. That, you know, he's a little bit behind the rest of them, but if we get him going, he's a nice horse. So we're looking forward to the 2-year-olds.
Do you feel now the 2-year-old program is sort of sufficient, that there's enough races?
They're getting there, yeah. I mean, it's tough. I mean, I can't blame it. We have a maiden about every meet at Meydan. We have trials. They spaced out the races in the carnival a little bit better for us this year. They were having to run back in 2 weeks, and this year I think we have at least 3 weeks in between each race, so that's good. And it's a learning curve, I think, for everybody over here. There wasn't much of a 2-year-old program. It was Godolphin and Mike DeCock for years, and it's just nice to have new owners and people giving it a shot now. And I think that Market Rally and Polio River really set everything alight. You know, having them come over and run so well in their divisions that year, and hopefully it keeps going. It's fun to have 2-year-olds. We're so used to having older horses and, you know, other people's horses. At least this way we're getting horses that we can bring along in our own time.
You mentioned Polio River there. For people who don't know, she's gone on to some pastures new. Yeah,
she probably should have gone the year before. Probably in the future we won't probably keep a filly for the next year. It's just there's not a whole lot of racing for them. I know we thought she was pretty top class, and she is, but I think she needed to be in her own generation, her own gender, and she's gone back to America. Brendan Walsh has her, and from all indications she's doing great, and probably should start here in November sometime, I think. So we're looking forward to seeing her run. She really never lost any of her ability at home. Her works were still as spectacular as they were the year before. She just was a little nervous in the gate here, and just didn't, you know, the first time we ran her, she was giving way to older colts the first time out, and there just wasn't a really good program for her. And you know, hopefully she goes back there and runs big.
This season, do you expect most of yours to come on for a run in the first few weeks?
They seem to be going well, but you never know. I mean, we've been training away since the beginning of August, and we were a little late. That they were doing some work on the track, so we were a little late coming out here. But they're all in good shape, and we're going over there with the intention of winning, but we'll just have to see when we get there.